Hello traders, welcome to the Thursday market update, and we are going to take a look at what we started with this week and an update on how the market is developing and what's happening in the charts. Before I do that, welcome to this week's video, and let's start with the calendar as always, just to update ourselves what's happening in terms of events. Okay, so here having a look at the major news, you can see that today we've had the initial jobless claims, which was the main bit of news for this week. Thursday, tomorrow, don't really have anything significant to bear in mind, which tomorrow is Friday, and we're gonna just take a look at the charts. So nothing to see here in terms of the economic calendar, nothing more to take into account. So let's head back to the chart and see where we're at. We're back here. We're going to look at the dollar index once again. I'm going to start with that, as that is main point to watch for. As we were looking at on Tuesday, breaking this high signifies a bullish continuation here on the dollar. So bullish dollar is bearishness, weakness on currencies that are paired with the dollar. So let's have a look at the next pair here. So we have got a euro dollar we're looking at. So here is the daily picture. Let's have a look at the 1 week, looking to head into these next levels. So back to the daily, as you can see today, we've had that continuation run. Looking on the 4 hour, here's the level of the turnaround, which was expected. Now we are continuing to head lower. So as is expected with the euro, dollar higher, euro lower. And this is what we've got. This is what is developing at the moment. So it's still continuing to be weak, despite the fact that we have this, what looks to be a pin bar on the daily. However, we know that the overall direction on the higher time frame is to the downside. So as is expected with the euro, we're continuing there, and this will be the next point of call with this level here to the left. So that's the euro. Let's have a look at the next one. So we were looking at the NAS 100, and we were looking for a continuation to the downside. That has not happened yet. We had this big move higher, and we said if we break these levels, then we're going to invalidate, and that is what has happened. Big bullish candle, which has today reversed, in fact. So we may actually be coming to the downside after all. However, because we broke these highs, major structural highs, this is now become unclear, the situation, because of this wild volatility. Pretty immense and massive run higher and massive run lower, broke the structural lows. So now we're going to have to reassess what's happening. So all of this is no longer valid. Going to have to reassess the market and have a look at what's going on later. So really want to see break down below this level here and close lower, and if we get that, then we may consider a continuation to the downside. At the moment it is a bit unclear. It looks like this is a big engulfing bearish candle, so the intention, what it seems to be like for the market at the moment, is to the downside. We do have this level that we're working off of, so we have gone through it, back down below it, and it seems that the weakness is continuing after breaks of these structures to the left. So tomorrow may be a continuation of that. Want to see a continuation break below this lows here on the lower time frame. So that's the NAS 100 here, pound yen. This is what we looked at the beginning of the week. We have reached into these levels. However, there is no sign of reversal. We have slowed down, left this wick. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. And here we are. And what we can see is a push higher. We have got what looks to be here a continuation, break of this high, create a new high, and now let's see if this new low holds or we go down into this level that we marked before. So this was the overall idea, which is kind of beginning to develop, however not quite clear yet. It would be a higher probability to wait for a daily candle. At the moment, no reversal. We've got a break, and we'll see what happens first before making a decision. Need a little bit more price action. Right, so that's the pound. Overall strong for now. Let's see where it heads. We've still not broken this invalidation point, so we may yet head higher. Similar thing with the pound New Zealand. However, we've broken through this area we're looking for in terms of a reversal, and now we've broken through this level as well. So no longer a buy in my eyes in terms of probabilities, because we have broken through the major structure, and now all of this is no longer clear. We've gone right through this, and yeah, in order to consider a buy once again, we'd have to break this high over here and then head higher, something like this, in order to look at a possible buy scenario. For now, oops, let's just get rid of this for a second. It's a bit too confusing. Right, so for now, we're going to leave this alone. We are kind of stuck in this big range, so let's forget about it for now. It doesn't look like high probability, does it? Quite uncertain. Let's go to the euro pound. And so we hit the target of this low, and it seems that after this low we had a very quick reaction, very sharp reaction, and we are now heading higher, creating a new high here on these structures. And let's see, here it is, 4 hour. We have made a new high here and another new high today. What does that mean? Well, that means that this could possibly be the reversal point. And if I just place, let me show you what I'm looking at here. Okay, let's just do this. Now that we've gone higher, we're going to look for a level. Let's move this away. That was just a zone. So a level to enter from. We've got place here where price has not come back to yet. We may get a retracement. If that happens, and if it's not the error I wanted, if that happens and we have a push higher, then we could consider a higher probability to move to the upside to the next levels here, here, and here. Okay, so that's the idea on euro pound. If we continue, if we get this swing, at the moment no point to chase the market. We have shifted away from there, if you did not catch it yourself yet. So this will be the next idea, and it looks like we are now breaking higher, but of course to confirm it would really have to break this high. That would be a much higher probability scenario. So that's the euro pound. Let's take a quick look at the next one we had on the list. So there was Aussie CAD, looking at the continued weakness down to this low. And what did we have? Well, we just had a break higher. Once again, the setup was invalidated. We just have to go with what the market tells us. I hope you could see the pattern. Perhaps you could see how we are breaking down the charts here. And as the market is telling us that it wants to go higher, it has not kept within this area that I was looking at, then I would just have to set this aside and just say that, well, we don't know what's happening. This whole thing, just delete all of these. This whole thing looks like a big range now. Looks like we're creating new higher highs, but overall we're still not broken a significant high to move higher. So no clear picture, no clarity, no trade. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Gold, similar thing with gold. So I was looking at this high not to be broken, was looking at this level to be kept, to be held. And what do we have? We had the opposite, a big bullish move to the upside. So we've broken last week's high. Now we have to wait and see what's happening, if we are going to move higher or we are in fact going to have a turnaround. Right now it is neither here nor there. I did prefer the downside here with the bullish dollar, but it looks like gold is not ready for that, or at least not yet. Yeah, so let's see whether we get a turnaround. After all, we don't. Right now it's very bullish, so we're going to leave it alone. Not really playing ball here, gold, is it? Especially with dollar heading high, you would expect gold to go lower, but that has not been the case so far. Then we leave it alone. Yeah, you just have to go with what the market is telling you. So that is what the market is saying right now on gold, and it's not playing with playing to our bias. And lastly, oil. Looked at this as well, this area to be a reaction, which is what we've had, and we've had this move lower, continued lower, breaking these structures to the left, and now as expected heading lower. This was the idea for the first target screen area here, and then this was the second one. Delete that. So here is that second target, so we may yet get further movement down. And where we get that, well, this would be the next. Let's keep it in this color. This would be the next possible level, if, only if, we get a reaction. Would prefer a much higher price, to be honest with you. Would be much nicer. So it's another interesting level here. Much higher price would be better because we get a more expensive price, better risk reward, higher probability. And again, this is the reference point. Can delete these now. That's not needed. We did break this low. So this would be the idea, especially as dollar is strong, as I keep saying. So referencing with the dollar, oil is priced in dollars. So strong dollar would hint at weaker oil prices. So that's what I'm looking at, and this is the update for Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, typically a more trickier day to trade, but if there is a setup, if something is high probability, we can go along with it. Remember to manage your risk. And here we are seeing this bullish dollar continuing on its way up. The next target would be this high and ultimately this high. Right. That's the Thursday update for you, and thank you very much for joining me this week, and I will see you on the next video for next week's outlook at the beginning of the week. Okay, bye for now, guys.